Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Curtis Motorcycles channel, creating future-proof motorcycles that are best and finest in class globally. Joining us, we have the privilege of Chief Executive Officer Matt, who's going to be breaking down the investor presentation for us today and kind of expanding the elevator pitch beyond our last interview. But first and foremost, welcome back, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So just diving down into the presentation here, first and foremost, kind of give us an introduction to the brand itself. And I'm just going to scroll through the pages and let you kind of further divulge this for us.
Well, Curtis is a ultimate wide mode EV play. It's the only luxury two-wheel maker. Actually, we feel we've finally invented the luxury motoring experience on two wheels. So there's no competition. That's great, and we're poised for this. So 6 years creating the motorcycle, which is we have 130 rounds of bits of the proprietary bits and pieces to make the bike. The rest of the stuff is off the shelf, which we're about to place the purchase order for. And we'll build out these first 130 and deliver them over the next 2 or 3 years, and we'll make money. So the big difference for us and any of the other EV plays that we've looked at is that we make money from the initializing of production, which is in 2023. And the part of the 6-year design exercise for us has been to create the Curtis One platform, which is the one platform that can be scaled from 15 horsepower to 300 plus horsepower. So it is a radically scalable design that makes money from the beginning of production in very small volumes, which is something we have great experience in as a boutique luxury maker of motorcycles for over 25 years.
Now, do you want to talk a little bit about the superiority here in this product manufacturing? I noticed you call this a breakthrough in technology. Do you want to just kind of further expand on
that? The beginning of the bike, okay, so the dream, the vision from the beginning when we got into the motorcycle business over 30 years ago was, how do you create an inside out, a first principle, build a bike almost like you imagine organic life. In this picture, so you see you have the shaft which taps through the motor. So all of a sudden, you know, think of the motor as kind of the egg, and then the shaft is what brings life to the egg. So the beginning of the making of a Curtis motorcycle, and we have a patent pending that we're going to get on this based upon the examiner's report, that this shaft that you see at the top left of the design goes through the center of the motor, and that centralizes and balances the whole motorcycle, and the legs of the motorcycle fit on that shaft, as does the core of the motorcycle. This is a whole new way of making a two-wheeled motoring device. Then we have this battery you see, which is Exhibit A in this drawing. That's the first immersion battery. So everything inside of the battery is fully immersed, so it runs cool, which is the lifeblood of electrification, is for it never to get hot. We all know that when anything that's electric gets hot, it tends to wear. And then at the top, and then at the top right, and then next to that, you see this triple load path aircraft grade design, which we've also invented. And then at the left bottom, you see the adjustability of the motorcycle. So for the first time, we have a motorcycle that you can own and adjust it to perfect scale and riding type for yourself. And then you can give it to your grandchild. And if he's a different size or prefers a different style, he can adjust it to himself. So these 4 elements are all part of a radically scalable motorcycle that we will launch at $120,000, make money from the beginning, but over time, we'll work with this platform architecture, which we will have IP protection on, and we'll license it or just radically scale it ourselves. So it has all the upside potential, but the beauty of our business plan is that we make money from the beginning of production in 2023. So we're not asking the investor to come in and fund 4 or 5 years of losses, making your ROI way higher.
Yeah, 100%. I really appreciate these insights. And it looks like you guys kind of have a long-term vision here too, beyond just the Curtis One here. Can you want to talk a little bit more about the future?
Yeah, what you got here, sir, is you have basically simple three types of motorcycles. So you have a roadster in the left corner top, a cafe style racer in the right, and then underneath it you have a bobber style. So these are like three basic elemental styles that we can make entirely modular. So all the pieces are the same, the technology is the same, and it just depends on the way you want to present, the aesthetic you yearn for, and of course the way you want the motorcycle to feel as you ride the motorcycle down the road. And those can come 15 to 300 plus horsepower. So it could be a relatively low price bike in the future, or 250,000, whatever the market demands, we're going to be able to satisfy, because we form to be the leader.
And
The upside is not at all diminished, but the downside risk is much less, because again, I want to emphasize, we're going to make money in 2023.
That's impressive to hear. And you guys have really put the dream team together. I think this is a fascinating slide based off a topic we had in our last interview. Do you want to really discuss and kind of hammer that point home of the people that are helping you kind of push, this lifeblood that lives through you guys in the motorcycle world?
Yeah, look, the road bike specialists that we've got, I mean, our dream has been to perfect the presence and the feel of an American road bike. That's what we've dedicated our lives to, and now we've been able to deliver that presence and feel in an EV. And the reason we could do that is because of these people. Now, this is a cool page because you have all of these. I love the picture of Beyonce, Mr. Pitt. This Peter Fonda picture was one of the greatest moments of my life when I met Peter, and he was like, I got to get this picture made. He really wanted it. Mr. Beckham obviously looks so cool on the bike. This guy, Mr. Dhoni's a super. I met him in Bombay. He's like the most handsome, cool guy you've ever seen in your life. And I think I bragged the last time. I'm sorry for being so arrogant, but I did. I can't tell you who it is, but I had a couple of phone conversations with a gentleman that I believe was he was the richest guy in the world. He rode his bike to his board meetings. I mean, he would put on his suit and ride his Hellcat to the bank in Switzerland, and it was real interesting. Yeah. So we know this customer. We know this customer. Yeah.
Speaking of the customer, it's just nice to see the endorsements and the people that are willing to back and enjoy this product so thoroughly. From the distribution stand site, do you want to just kind of give some idea here on where you guys are kind of manufacturing and what the primary market you're going to hit here first is with those initial shipments?
Our studio is design studio is in New Orleans, and in Leeds, Alabama, we is where we're going to build the first 130. And just about all of them are going to be shipped to California. So it's a California-centric customer base. So what we learn in California will then expand in 2026 globally. So that's basically the idea there. Most of our customers have always been Californians.
Just kind of looking forward here, what's one thing that investors should focus on, you think, when it comes to Curtis Motorcycles? I know there's a lot, but if there's just one point you could hammer home to finish up on.
I believe that the key that makes all of us at Curtis so confident in our business, and that we will make it for the long run, is basically all of the elements coming together. Our experience as a small batch maker, the fact that we've got all the parts, that we've gone through the process with the 130 rounds of parts that we have. We've iterated those pieces more than we've ever done on any of the bikes we've ever made, like 7 or 8 different iterations. We literally wore out our machine shop getting it perfect. So there's no Dremel tool on these motorcycles. The caliber of the first bikes will be Rolls-Royce Fabergé egg, ketone suit caliber, Patek Philippe. It's basically 2 aspects. First, we get to begin very slowly with these relationships with these first clients to give them a perfect product. I cannot emphasize enough that the long-term value of our stock is going to most be impacted by the experience that our first buyer has, and then the second buyer, and then the fourth buyer, and then the eighth buyer. As we double our experiential relationship with these clients, we need to get better and better and better, and we need to start perfectly. The first bite is the most important bite, the most important customer experience we'll ever have. Now, the first 3 years, we'll make a little bit of money. We'll make 20%. Well, in year 3, we'll deliver a couple $1 million of EBITDA. But it's year 4 of production when we'll scale up from 60 units to 600, 700, 800 units. And that is when we'll also list the stock likely just before we begin that process on NASDAQ, which was our 10-year vision when we started Curtis in 2016. So that will be something like $100 million worth of business. And our vision is to be like Ferrari. Ferrari is a 10X company. They do about 4 or 5 billion a year, and they're worth about 40 to 50 billion. That's what luxury does. 50% margin, 30% to the bottom line. It's a simple, clean, sustainable business model. And I believe in some ways we're better than Ferrari because Ferrari is in the ICE space. Now they have to make that transition. They have to make Ferrari, when I think of Ferrari, Enzo used to say, you buy the V12 and I'll throw in the car for free. I mean, his whole stick was the Ferrari V12, which is the greatest motor ever. But now we're dealing with a new type of motor. In our case, it's our axial flux motor. So the Yaz is the best motor in the world, the best electric motor ever. The smallest, lightest, it's like 40 pounds and makes 217 horsepower, but it's also our technology. So Curtis is similar to what Ferrari Rolls-Royce is in the ICE motor car space, but it's alone in the two-wheeled motoring space as luxury, and it's EV, which is positioned for explosive growth. Basically, truth is about $100 million market, going to go to 100 billion. So you get a section in that marketplace, you got a great stock.
Well, I definitely appreciate those insights, and I love the passion behind it. And when we come back, we'll discuss a little bit more about the financing, but I'll pass the question on to the viewers. We'd love to know what you guys think about all this in that comment section below, and consider subscribing because as news hits the wire, we're going to update you here. But stay cool, stay awesome, and as always, we'll catch you in the next one.